Hey, this is Brooks with Character Design Forge. We're continuing our series looking at the fundamental principles of character design, this time focusing on clarity. As always, these principles don't exist in a vacuum, and they often feed off of one another. Clarity is all about clearly communicating something visually. If you were trying to communicate something audibly with sound, what things could get in your way? Well, you might have loud noises, other voices talking over you, noise, or other distractions. There could be a language barrier. Your voice could be muffled or distorted. But clear all of those obstacles away and you have audio clarity. Now the sound becomes clear and easy to understand. So there's a number of similar things that get in the way of visual clarity, and a few things that we can keep in mind to make sure that our character designs are always clear. First of all, clarity involves having the necessary skill to convey an idea. In other words, the ability to draw them well enough so that an audience can understand them. Think about what happens when a really young child proudly shows you a drawing that they've done. Nice! What's it supposed to be? You don't want people to do the same thing with your character design work. So if you have a level of self-awareness of where your skill level is, try to either operate within that or work to improve your fundamental drawing skills to reach higher. You're just building your visual vocabulary. Now, before you even put pencil to paper, clarity in character design typically comes from making a few strong choices instead of a lot of little subtle ones. If you find that your character designs aren't reading very clearly, it may be helpful to employ existing archetypes as a jumping off point. Now, you may be hesitant to be too cliche, but that's actually a problem a lot less often than someone who is too averse to borrowing from larger strokes and just make something that's too vague or obtuse. Oftentimes, people find that making visually complex characters is automatically better, when in reality, anything that they were trying to convey about their characters through their design might actually get muddled in the details. So instead, try this. Decide on a maximum of 3 things that you want your character to convey visually. Then figure out how your design shows that, and try to base all of your decisions off of them. Can you strip elements away that may either be unnecessary or detractors from the main idea of the character? Another area that always benefits from clarity is the character's silhouette, or the outline that they make. This includes the way that they look in general, or in a neutral pose, and the way that they appear when performing any kind of action or expression. Now, when possible, keep arms and legs from overlapping other parts of the body so that they read clearly. Keep that idea in mind with anything that may muddle the appearance of the character or the pose that they're in. In gaming, clarity is important to help a player understand what actions they're taking and what those results are. If something starts flashing red, it's usually a sign of danger or of losing health, and green usually means success or gained health. In the same way, design characters who are capable of clearly showing the actions taking place in-game. A player should understand that their inputs are being carried out without any confusion. This means using clarity in the way that you make your character's proportions, make segments in their design, and draw attention to what's happening in the action through exaggeration. In last week's video on proportion, we talked about how the focus on conversation and facial expressions in Animal Crossing makes large heads and small bodies conducive to that game. However, if you tried to make a game with the same character models, where the characters were instead meant to perform intricate hand movements or athletic and agile feats of strength, a lot would be lost. Remember that you aren't just trying to create clarity for someone that's studied your character for the same amount of time that you have. You want someone that's paying half attention, that's not very visually literate, who may even be distracted by something else to be able to understand, at least on some level, something about your character, something that you intended for them to understand. And ideally, anyone who's in the target audience of your work. So for example, if you're creating family-friendly entertainment, both adults and children alike will need to appreciate what you're trying to convey. So let's move into some examples. One example of extremely clear character design is the 5 main emotions from the film Inside Out. The designs are rather simple, but they provide a sense of clarity through the use of colors, shapes, and personalities. The emotions are set up almost like a part of the rule set of the universe, so that when other characters' heads are looked into, we instantly read that Mom has 5 sadnesses, and Dad has 5 angers. Not only are these characters distinct from one another, each one, with perhaps the exception of Disgust, gives a really strong read on who the character is. Their disposition, the shapes used, even the color uses language that we're familiar with. I've already talked at length about the game Splatoon in my Spotlight video, and how the character designs emphasize gameplay first. There is integrated clarity at every turn, including things like the squids being shaped like an actual arrow to indicate the direction that they're traveling in. Another means of obtaining clarity is through consistency, as in the case of Baymax and his shape language. Baymax is a simple, non-threatening, docile caregiver, and the repeated round shapes throughout his design make that clear. This may seem simple, but imagine if some triangular shapes were added to his composition. What are we supposed to do with Spiky Baymax, or Tiger-striped Baymax? Is he dangerous now? Is he fast now? Of course, Baymax has a suit that's made for him by Hero, but that transition is made clear to the audience, and this suit still retains largely round shapes. Unification throughout a design with things like color or shapes is a great way to be overt and simple about conveying who they are. A lot of these things may seem simple, perhaps even too simple, but remember that clear communication is all about removing obstacles in the way of understanding. So instead of trying to outsmart your audience, or show them how clever you are by being obtuse and vague, never hesitate to examine your work for ways that you can make things clearer. If you'd like more help with your character design skills, my course Learn Character Design is a comprehensive character design curriculum, and as of the posting of this video, is due for a complete overhaul from me in the very near future. Look for more videos on the fundamental principles of character design like exaggeration, contrast, and more. That's it for me today. I'm making new videos every week at 11 AM Eastern on Character Design Forge, Tuesday mornings. Subscribing lets you know when new videos are made available. My Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon are all Bagel Denizen, and you'll see them in a few seconds. Thank you so much for watching, and have fun creating.